all across the state. In fact, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he's putting seniors at top priority of getting the vaccine, and he himself is in no rush to get one. But should more be done to reduce the reported chaos? Well, joining us to discuss the COVID-19 vaccine situation in Florida is State Congressman from the 116th District in Miami-Dade County, Daniel Perez. Daniel, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year's to you.
Happy New Year's to you guys, too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, and with the new year comes this new welcome news, of course, the news of the vaccine. And clearly people in Florida, they want to get vaccinated. Local news outlets are reporting these long lines at vaccination sites and even people crashing county computer systems and hospital phone banks trying to schedule their shots. What's the scene actually like in Florida when it comes to this vaccine distribution?
Yeah, look, the residents of Florida are ready to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. And what we've been able to do is we've been able to start with a 5-hospital test evaluation process over the last 7 days, which has now expanded to over 100 hospitals. And we're running it through the county health departments. And this week alone, we received a little bit around 300,000 vaccines for the next several days. So we expect to be able to provide those vaccines as quick as people are asking for them.
All right, so you've got the hospitals ready to go. We've heard some news from the Florida Agriculture Commissioner, Nikki Fried, calling on the governor to bring in the Florida National Guard to help with this vaccine rollout. Could that help increase the distribution at a higher rate?
If there's a necessity for that, I'm sure the governor will make that call. But I think the Commissioner of Agriculture, Nikki Fried, is pretty much playing politics at this point. I think the governor has done a great job of calling the National Guard when it's necessary. Our governor, Ron DeSantis, has been one of the best governors in responding to national emergencies and hurricanes, and he's been doing the same with COVID-19. I expect him to use that as an option, and if it's necessary, he'll do it.
Well, she's also gone on to say that the state is seeing a record high 22.75% positive rate just days ago, and she says she wants DeSantis to act fast. We know that Florida has been unique in the fact that your state has stayed relatively open throughout all of the COVID-19 pandemic. Businesses, I'm sure, are very, very grateful for that. But has there been any, drawbacks from deciding to stay open in the fact that you are seeing these positive cases?
Not really. I mean, let's compare the state of Florida to the state of California and the state of New York. Those businesses have shut down. Many of them will never reopen. Rates are through the roof. Death rates are skyrocketing. And we're looking at Florida, and our numbers are continuing to decrease if we're looking over the right span of months. But they're playing politics many times when they're stating facts like that because they're picking small sample sizes that aren't a true representation of what's going on in Florida. We're actually doing a great job while keeping our businesses open and giving individuals the freedom they deserve. I mean, we're adults here to make decisions for ourselves and for our families. And I think the governor has given people those options.
Yeah, and definitely to note, number of positive cases does not mean the number of deaths as well. And Florida has, done a good job of trying to keep those numbers low, especially when you compare it to New York. And you think about the New York governor who's received all of this praise and recognition. And Florida's numbers are fewer than what you're seeing in New York. And speaking of the governor of Florida, he made some news the other day when he was asked whether he would receive the vaccine or not. And you know what he said? I'll wait until the other people decide to take it. Those people who are more at risk, those people who are those essential frontline workers. What'd you make of the governor's decision to pass on the vaccine and put those other people first?
Absolutely. And the best part of that, and I'm not sure if you caught it or not, is he said, whoop-de-doo, I'm an elected official. That doesn't mean I'm supposed to skip the line. And that's the mentality that elected officials have to have, not just in Florida, but in our country. There are people that need this vaccine. The governor is a young, healthy man who will wait his turn the same way I am and the same way that many others in our generation will do so. But now's the time to take care of the most vulnerable population, our elderly, who have done so much for our country and so much for our culture. So we're definitely giving a priority to those that need it first. And that was a great response from the governor. I actually tip my hat to him.
Yeah. And as you make those comments, we were showing the images of, again, those people who are waiting to get those vaccines. That looks like they're kind of camping out and waiting their turn. You've got elderly people who are there, plus age 65 and older. Ideally, Daniel, what's sort of the timeline you'd like to see for all of the people in your state who would like to get vaccinated have the opportunity to do so? I know we had Admiral Giroir of the Coronavirus Task Force say potentially by June he could see any American who would like to be vaccinated have that opportunity. Is that sort of a timeline you're familiar with?
Yes, that's what I'm expecting. I would say that I'm hoping any American that wants to receive the vaccine could receive it within the first 6 months of 2021. That would be a great goal for us as a country. I know here in Florida, it's as quick as they get in is as quickly as they're going to get used. We have about 300,000 coming in that just came in a couple days ago, and I expect them to get used fairly quick. And as soon as those are gone, I know that we're working on getting the next batch in. I know there's a 60,000 batch of vaccines that are coming into the CVSs and Walgreens of Florida. So we're moving as quick as we can in order to provide the right vaccine for our residents.
Obviously, New Year's Eve was last night. It's a big party night. And because Florida is open for business, I'm sure those local businesses, restaurants, hotels, they probably did pretty well last night. Is that what you've heard from your local businesses in the area, that they were expecting a crowd for New Year's Eve and they would be able to welcome those crowds?
Yeah, Miami-Dade County, the mayor gave them the opportunity to open up for New Year's, and the curfew was extended until 1 a.m. in order to allow people to ring in the new year, eat their 12 grapes, and do whatever tradition is that they do, and then drive home safely, as opposed to rushing to make it home in time for a curfew. So it was my understanding that last night was a success in Miami-Dade County, although I stayed home with my wife and my 2 little ones.
Sure. All right. But at least you had the opportunity to use that freedom if you wanted to. You can't do that in every other state. So that is Daniel Perez from the Sunshine State of Florida with an update there on that vaccine rollout. We appreciate it so much, Daniel. Happy New Year to you. Take care. Thank you.
It's 2021, but Congress